Coleus seeds are really tiny. You can see 4 in the bottom of this plastic bag, and they came out of that one little brown head, and it's at the base of the head. The little brown seed pod will appear to be open and you think the seeds have fallen on the ground, but the seeds are trapped in the very bottom, and I pulled one off with my fingernails and I dropped it in this bag just to show you how tiny the seeds are. And the best way to do this is to take a pair of scissors and go down here and cut this off really easy, holding the stem and cutting below it of the lowest seeds, like you'd cut it down there. And then gently pick it up and put it in a bag that's marked. Now I've marked this as Coleus 2013, dark red center and green edges. So I know what it is and I can mark it when I plant the seeds. And since there is some green material on this, you couldn't put it in a bag like this and seal it up. I'm using the bag so I don't lose any of the little seeds, and I will stick that in the bag, but I will dry that pod in the open. I usually use a paper plate that you'd use for picnics. And once all this is dried up and I get all the seeds out of it, I will store the seeds and maybe just a few of the pods. Back in a minute. Well, they're the ones I cut off. Most of them are brown, some of them are green. The green ones won't be viable seeds, but the brown ones will have it. And these right here have probably a little bit more green on them, so I'll give them another 4 or 5 days before I cut those off. But all those little brown things with 4 seeds in each one, we'll have a lot of this Coleus. And now I'm going to do the others. Now I've sealed these bags because in case I dropped a bag, I wouldn't want the seeds to dump out. I will lay these on a picnic paper plate and let them dry out naturally, and then you can just run your fingers. You could do it right now if you wanted to, but I prefer to leave them on the stems in case there's a few that hadn't matured that might. But you could just take your finger and run from one end to the other and strip it all off and just have all the little green and brown pods in it. But when I lay this out, see, all the green will be separated on the stems and there's no chance of molding. You don't want any moisture, because if you get moisture, you can the seeds can go bad. But see, there's a few in the bottom. It's just falling out the pods. And this one's not ready yet, so we'll wait. So we're leaving a few on that for a week or so. I'm leaving a few on that for a week or so from now. I would like to see that one go to seed, but it doesn't look like it has any intentions of doing that. I took a paper plate and wrote the seed description so I know what it is on both of these plates. And the reason I like using a white paper plate is it's really easy to see the seeds. And these are just falling out from handling it to put it in the bag. That's why you cut it off really easy. I grabbed it right there because there is a little seed pod at the very bottom. And then I made the cut there. And then I gently put this in the bag so they wouldn't fall out. Because if I just took this and fooled with it, you can see the seeds fall out of it. It doesn't take very much to drop them and lose them on the ground. Now these will take a few days to dry out. And it'll just be easier to get all the seeds out once they dry. And we'll be back Sunday, and today is Thursday, the 3rd of October. And I'm just going to let them sit right here on this island and dry out. And the other day, that little taste of watermelon, when I plugged it, we carried the watermelon home. We left about an hour after that, and we actually picked the next big watermelon. And we rinsed them off and just put them on a paper plate. And with seeds like this, usually you would rinse them off and put a paper towel there and dump them on top of it and spread them out and let them dry. They can't dry too long, but you don't want to put them up with any greenness. Like if you put all these in that bag, sealed it up, it would just all the moisture would mold and rot and everything would be a disaster. And there you can see they're drier than the others.